my feel-good breakfast show.
There are stories of strivers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.
Honey, listen, I absolutely love when we get to have really important conversations, because it's all good and well for you to look into your retirement and put money away and make sure that it is there for one day when you do retire. But my friend, what happens when things pop up, emergencies that you could have never seen? And one thing I know as well is that sometimes you just really need to have access to an amount of money. And this is the thing, ABSA has got you in terms of that with their brand new retirement system, which is the two-pot system, of course. And this morning, we're joined by Hwalani Mabaso, who is an incredible woman, one of the executives and directors at ABSA, who is here to tell us all about the two-pot system. But also, one of the reasons we trust her is because, my friend, she is part of the Mail and Guardian Woman Changing South Africa in 2019, all in the name of the financial services industry, as well as in 2023, she was there yet again, proving the fact that she is a leader in the financial services industry. Ladies and gents, let's give her a beautiful welcome, please. Hwalani, how are you, my love?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
That's good. I love everything red. You are so within the ABSA. And this is why I want to ask you, Hwalani, because we all know that the landscape of retirement in South Africa changed in September, where we got the two-pot system. Can you explain it for anybody who's still a little bit maybe in the gray of understanding it?
Yeah, correct. So in simple terms, the two-pot system is a new reform, that is actually allowing South Africans to have access to a saving component of their pension, which is actually giving them access before they go on retirement. What we used to see previously is that people would actually go and retire and resign from work because they actually wanted to access their pension fund. So now you've got an opportunity to actually access the savings pot, which is at this point in time having a seed capital of about 30,000.
Oh, wow. And of course, this is something that is meant to help people out. But sometimes, people aren't able to manage that kind of access correctly. So can I ask you, what exactly is ABSA doing to ensure that, people are able to manage this properly and maybe even look after it the way that they should?
I think you're asking something that is quite important for our viewers and listeners to really pay attention to.
Yes.
Before you can even go and start digging into that pot, my advice would be for you to actually go and speak to a financial advisor. So it's ABSA. We're actually waiting for you in all our branches. We've got virtual advisors who are waiting for you to actually help you navigate, understand that there are implications such as tax that you have to pay.
Yeah.
So before you make that decision, go and speak to a financial advisor. Let them help you understand why you are, trying to access your money, but at the same time, give you some advice in terms of how to navigate in the future so that you can have enough for your retirement in the future.
I love the way that you put it, where you said you're waiting for us in your branches.
Correct.
I feel taken care of. I'm ready to just go to a branch right now. And this is the thing you also mentioned, though, that, of course, there are tax implications when we talk about this.
Yes.
Can you jump into that a little bit? What are the tax implications? What do we need to know?
So firstly, we have to remember that your retirement money, when it goes into a fund currently, you're not necessarily being taxed into that fund.
Okay.
But what happens when you go on retirement, you actually now will be taxed. So what's happening now is that because you're accessing this retirement money, you will then be taxed as a marginal tax rate, which is a high tax bracket. So this is in relation to your income tax currently. And essentially, that means that in the future, when you retire, what would have been the 500,000 that you would have access to that would have been tax-free now will no longer be available for some of the members because they would have already taken some of the money out. So marginal tax rate, just remember, you're going to give a portion of what you are withdrawing to SARS. And I don't think we want to do that.
Darling, I would like not to do it. But you know what? I guess at the end of the day, it is up to the individual. However, we do know that there are young professionals out there who are just coming into these different landscapes, just coming to understand the lay of the land, if you will. So I want to then ask you, as this woman who has accomplished so many beautiful things, what advice would you give to young professionals who are just starting out in their careers, who want to build a solid retirement fund?
I think for young professionals, you have got the amazing time. A compound interest will play in your favor. So you've got a longer term for you to actually save for your retirement. So start early. And, you know, we often recommend that you need to at least save about 15% of your gross income into your retirement. So make sure that you start early, but as a young person, live within your means. Don't go and overextend yourself, because you'll find yourself highly indebted, which will make it difficult for you, and later on you might become one of those who want to actually dig into that savings pot. But at the same time, as a young professional, as you're starting, make sure that you go and sit with a financial advisor. You know, we often go and get advice on a lot of things. We want to get advice on our hair, get advice on our skin. But when it comes to our finances, we leave it to chance. We don't spend a lot of time educating ourselves. So get as much education as you can. And the amazing thing is that there is so much information out there. And if you don't know, go to the ABSA website. We've got so much information for you that will help you to understand and navigate as a young professional.
I love that. And Hwalani, not you coming for us. We're so preoccupied with our hair, our makeup and everything. But you're like, guys, maybe the finances as well.
Correct.
I like this. This is why you are our leadership and we follow you. And I want to just, before you go, Hwalani, and go and be a boss lady some more, I just want to hear about, you know, in terms of us talking about South Africans, apparently only 6% of South Africans will actually be able to retire properly and, you know, actually be able to do it comfortably even. So what advice would you give to South Africans to hopefully be able to balance that out and make it a little bit better for themselves?
Look, the truth of the matter is that it's difficult in the current conditions, climate conditions that we've got, economical conditions that we have.
Yes.
You know, people are not getting increases in relation to inflation. I think we have to be realistic around it. But at the same time, I would like to urge people to understand that at the forefront of you getting to your retirement fund and doing it properly, budgeting. A lot of people don't spend time understanding their finances and budgeting. We just leave it, and it's like, okay, money comes and money goes.
That's
but
true.
We gotta be very, very disciplined around our money. But at the same time, we need to understand that at the time of retirement, you need to have about 20 times your annual salary for you to retire comfortably. So a simple example is that if you earn 1 million, you should actually be having about 20 million saved up by the time you retire. That is a lot of money.
It is.
So essentially, the best advice is start early, make sure that you keep to it, but also pay attention to how you are spending, you know, on a day-to-day basis, so that when there's a little bit that you've got, save it. We've seen now with the interest rate cuts, you know, people are excited about it, but the question is, can you think of that from a mechanism of maybe paying off your debt quicker and taking financial decisions that will help you to get to the end goal a lot much more faster. But ultimately, we just have to stay the course and save as much as we can.
And we will do that, Hwalani, because you have left us with beautiful gems today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. It is ABSA telling you, my friend, that sometimes we get caught up in the here and now, but it is also all about your future and what does it actually look like. And with ABSA's new two-part system in terms of the retirement plan, my friend, there is in fact a plan just for you. And this is why you got to pop into ABSA and hear what it is that they have to say in terms of helping you best plan for the future. Because at the end of the day, your story matters.
There are stories of believers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.